All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We got a female entrepreneur,
Whoop whoop.
Latina, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Mexicana.
Here with us today, and tell everybody what you do.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. My name is Cindy Vargas. I am la dueña of La Casa Dulce. We do a little bit of everything. We started off with the cocoa bombs when they were popular in December, and now we kind of changed into just making more dulces picantes and chamoy and anything that involves Latino culture.
Awesome. And obviously, we're located in Chicago, but you do ship to
Yes.
anywhere.
Yeah,
right?
we pretty much ship nationwide and even out of the country if anyone is interested.
Awesome. Now, what made you start this business?
Yeah, so I've always had a passion for cooking and feeding people and trying out new recipes. Ever since I was young, I was in the kitchen with my mom. And the pandemic hit. I was a project manager at a company for 4 years, and as soon as it hit, they couldn't keep up and they had to downsize and they laid off half of the employees. And sadly, fortunately, I was one of those people that got laid off. And I kind of struggled for a little bit looking for a job. I didn't find anything that I wanted. The companies didn't seem like they were a good fit for me. And
Now, was this still during kind of like COVID?
yes.
Prime time?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I was laid off last year on April Fool's. It wasn't a joke, but on April Fool's, I was laid off. And yeah, for months, we started La Casa Dulce in December. So yeah, I wasn't able to find a job for a good amount of time.
Boy. Now, La Casa Dulce, why'd you name it that?
Yeah, so I wanted to incorporate, of course, Spanish in it because I'm Mexican. I'm proud. I knew I would incorporate Mexican cuisine in it. So I wanted it in Spanish. So originally we were going to be Casa de Azúcar. So I really liked that one, but I just had like a list of like different, synonyms for sugar, anything. And then I went to my parents and I was like, okay, you guys are like the final yes or no. And my dad's like, I don't like it. It doesn't really flow. And then he's like, what about La Casa Dulce? Like that just hit.
Yeah.
And then we have our little logo with the little roof now. So that's just kind of like, it's a little bit of everything. My boyfriend, my family, my friends all kind of helped and decided to vote on that one.
That's awesome. I just picked sticks.
That too. That would have been good.
Right. Now, when let's see. When did you have any negative thoughts like going into it? Like, did you not feel like maybe this isn't something I should do? Were there any birds on your shoulder saying hey, maybe you should just keep looking for a job?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the idea came from my sister. So she loves, obviously, who doesn't love TikTok, especially now with coronavirus, right? We couldn't go out. What else would we do? So she's the one who came up with the idea. She's like, you should start a business. And it was like a couple of times that she told me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to do it. How would I start? And, it was me more my self-doubt. And I think she just was like, you should do it. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do it? So, I mean, definitely at first, it was like, no, like, why? Like, how are you going to start?
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about being the business owner?
It's the fact that I have the freedom and liberty to do whatever I want to do. If I want to do, promotional code, let's do it. If I want to switch things up, if I want to do a pop-up event, I can do it. So I have a complete liberty to say yes or no to what I want to do without getting an approval from anyone.
Yeah. That's definitely something, the freedom, right, that a lot of people kind of are moving towards, right? They're starting to see that the 9 to 5, they're going to be there till they're 65,
Yep.
maybe 67, right? Depending on how you plan for it, right? Now, like I've talked to a lot of people, right, where they're like barbers and they're successful barbers, right? And their parents were like originally, hey, I don't think you're going to be able to put food on the table being a barber or any type of art, right? And it's like now with social media that we could reach so many people within seconds, right? It gives us the opportunity to kind of just expand on expand and share about our culture, right? Because I'm also Mexican. So you're able to put these delicious, let me tell you, delicious candies.
You tried to get them.
We had some yesterday, so we went out to her pop-up. Shout out to who hosted it.
Cresco Insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. They're
Awesome.
also Latina owned.
Oh,
Yep.
about to have them on here too.
Yep.
So you kind of talked about it was kind of just self hesitation, right? That made you start. Who helped you along the way?
Everyone. I mean, my boyfriend,
That's awesome.
definitely. He's like he calls himself the CEO.
Okay,
So he's
okay.
like my go-to, like for everything. He's the one who puts the stickers on there. Obviously my parents, my mom is retired and she's back to working now. She works for free. So she's the one who handles like all the pickups in Palatine. And then, family, friends, anyone who just shares my stuff. I feel like that's help. Like, anybody who's putting their word out there for me.
Yeah, awesome. How do you advertise?
Social media. That's all I do
That's
is
it?
social media. Instagram is definitely our biggest way to advertise. We do a lot of TikToks too. So yeah, pretty much just social media and word of mouth.
Yeah. Where could they reach you on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is _ La Casa Dulce _.
Do you see, or what do you see are the biggest struggles for small businesses right now?
I mean, I would definitely say, honestly, I think as for my experience, it's been very successful, but I definitely have heard that other small businesses, they're not getting that reach that they can get to other people. For me, I feel like TikTok really helped me kind of boost and expand the way that we ran our, we've only been around for 4 months. So, luckily, thank God, I've been able to, be very successful in the short time of, that we've been selling. But I definitely think it's just being able to reach other people. And there's so many small businesses. So it's like, how do you pick versus supporting this person versus another person? I think that's definitely like the biggest struggle for others.
Yeah, I think as soon as COVID hit, I think it opened up the eyes to a lot of people for them to realize that small businesses were kind of getting thrown to the wayside, right? Where it's just like Amazon is like, it's just so convenient, right? Yeah. Then you got like all these other restaurants that are just like, they need you to go buy food just so they could keep their doors open, right?
Yeah.
I think a donut shop in Palatine.
Yeah,
right?
Spunky Dunkers.
Yeah, they kind of just reached out to their community and they're like, hey, we don't really want donations, right? We just want you to come buy some donuts, right? So that's awesome. And I think a lot of people realized that with COVID that, small businesses, it's okay to spend an extra $2-3 if you're going to help out your local neighbor, right? Yeah, so that's awesome. You said you kind of didn't have any struggles at first, right? You did kind of spend a while before you actually said, you know what, hey, let's do it, right? Are there any little struggles like?
So I would definitely say for me, so I'm the type of person, if I have an idea, I'm like, I want to do it. I want to go and do it. So I started on December 4th was when I'm like, okay, my first post on Instagram, that's when I started. And I was going to start selling the cocoa bombs. And for me, I only had 3 weeks to prep. So I had my sister's mold, the chocolate molds. I had those that she had bought, but I had to buy more, right? Because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to use 6 of them. How many is that going to make me? So for me, my struggle would be that I didn't jump on it when my sister told me to. I kind of waited and I was like, should I do it? Should I not? And then when I finally decided to, I had 3 weeks till Christmas. So I would definitely say that I jumped on it, but it all worked out. Thankfully I had little things where I'm like, my shipment's not going to get here on time or things like that. But overall it all worked out, thankfully.
Yeah. Now, have you ever reached out to anybody to try to collaborate with them?
Yes. So that's my goal even before I started my small business, I have always loved supporting small businesses. I have a lot of, Palatine actually has a lot of successful small businesses as well. So they're very collaborative communities. So, I've my goal is to collab with one other small business a month just to be able, because we all have, different followers, different customers. So just to be able to kind of both of us to be able to get new followers and new customers. And
more eyes on you, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you had any unhappy customers?
Yeah, and not because of our products,
right.
but
where?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Thankfully, not because of our products, but more. I mean, we do offer shipping now, so UPS and USPS. Sometimes, they're late or things get lost. I don't use USPS as much anymore because of an experience I had where they lost a shipment, and people, thankfully, they're pretty nice because they're like, hey, it's a small business. I'm not going to be, it's not like calling the manager at Target, right?
Yeah.
So, but they did say like, hey, my shipment's not here. So obviously I like tracked it down, was able to find it. Luckily they were able to get it. But I still gave them I'm like, hey, next time, like that was, obviously wasn't, our bad, but thanks for like your patience. Here's like a discount code for your next purchase. So just like, anything that they know, like obviously it's my small business. So I think it's like you can focus more on like customer satisfaction because you have that direct contact with them.
So that's huge, right? Customer service. Now, on a scale of like 1 to 10, what do you think it is? Because, I mean, a lot of people, do you have a website that they could go on? So sometimes, when they reach out to you through email, you're obviously going to be the one that answers the questions, right? Mm-hmm. Since you don't have a lot of, versus a bakery where they come in and then, they see you and you sell it to them, right? Do you kind of do like a little handwritten note? Do you do anything to say, hey, thanks for supporting us? Or
Yeah, when we ship things, I mean, it's gotten more difficult now, obviously, with, the amount of orders that we're getting. It's not like huge, but, it's like, okay, how do I keep up? And I was working a 9 to 5, so it's harder. But when we do shipping stuff, we do write little notes and I throw in, obviously, they're paying for shipping. So that's an extra cost that I wish they didn't have to pay for. So I'll throw in, some extra like Mexican candy in there. Whenever my parents go to Mexico, they'll bring some candy back. So we throw that in there for them. And obviously, when they go pick up, we always make sure that, our presentation's good. So we give them a little bag. We make sure that you have a little stamp that says, thank you for your purchase. So just anything that'll make them know how truly appreciative we are of them.
Yeah. Do you regret not starting earlier?
Yes, that's what we were just talking about at home is I wish my sister or someone would have given me the idea like, a month after I got laid off, because our candy, I mean, especially now and like it's getting warmer, like, that's something fun to bring to a party or anything. So I definitely wish I would have been like, dang, if I would have just started, but everything happens for a reason. So.
Yeah. Do you think if you hadn't gotten laid off, you think you ever would have done it?
No way. No way.
Did you like your job?
At first I did, but I mean, I'm sure anybody that has a 9 to 5 job, it's especially now with COVID, I feel like they're setting these requirements where it's like, okay, but what about me? Where's my work from home balance? I remember, I was project manager, so I had customers, obviously they're important customers. We need to meet deadlines. And I remember working on Super Bowl weekend, like on a Saturday, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, but yeah, I mean, I liked it at first. And then obviously it kind of messed with my work from, my own work-life balance.
Yeah. Like I was talking to my barber again. His days that are busy, right, are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because everyone's trying to look fresh for the weekend and stuff. And he's like, sometimes I step back and I'm like, do I actually like what I'm doing? And I'm like, who am I kidding? I love this stuff, right? And it's his community's a lot like you said, close.
Yeah.
Even barbers from Chicago to barbers from Streamwood or Elgin or wherever. But I think if you love what you do, it doesn't matter if it's until it's Super Bowl Sunday, like you said, and you're like kind of step back and you said, hey, do I really like this, right?
Exactly.
Do you do any type of self-care for you?
So
other than the nails, like
So, I had started another job and I definitely felt myself. Like, that's my most important thing is my own mental health and making sure that I'm okay. And like, my house is like, my form of like self-care is like, my house is clean. Like, I can take a bath and, I can do my hair. Go, obviously, like you said, go get my nails done. And my form now, it's like, as you get older, like, it's just like, I just want to relax on the couch and just chill and be able to watch TV. And like, my one thing is like, okay, if my house is clean, everything else is in order, I can lay down, relax, and just chill. So I mean, now I'm starting to get back in the swing of things for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of like yoga, meditation, any of that?
I used to do yoga a lot, and that was one of my goals when I started my job. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wake up early and do just 15 minutes. And when you wake up at 6 a.m., it's like, man, do I really want to wake up 15 minutes early? I'd rather just snooze it. But I'm going to definitely start doing yoga again, for sure. That's like, I loved doing that, like where it's like, you just relax and have the music and you don't think about anything else. And I think that's a great way to just train your mind to just really be like, okay, everything that's in my mind that I'm like, any stressing out, is just let it go and just stretch and let your body kind of really get that break that it needs.
Definitely. For younger people, I mean, we saw at the pop-up, there was a 12-year-old, right? And she was out there hustling, right? Selling lemonade. And obviously, it's, kind of what young kids do.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for young?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say just go for it. You're really your biggest critic, but you're also your biggest motivator. So, when I first started, I was like, man, like I told you, I was like, should I do it? Should I not? And then once I set my mind to it, I'm like, I'm going to do it. That's where it all changes. So I would say definitely train your mind to tell yourself like you can do it, because as long as you believe in yourself, you can have haters, you can have people telling you like, I don't know if it's the best idea, but as long as you believe in yourself, you're going to be successful and you just put in that hard work.
Yeah, definitely. Just like anything, practice makes perfect, right?
Definitely.
What are your plans for your business?
Yeah, so I mean, you were at our first pop-up, so definitely I want to do more in-person events now that things are getting slowly back to normal, right? So I want to do more pop-ups. I want to be able to meet more people, because right now all I've been doing is just, DMing people Instagram. So I know like a few of my customers that are always, every week they go and they, purchase stuff, and just being able to be more, dealing with people and, growing that. And then also definitely we want to be in stores. We want to be in like liquor stores and things like that. So that's going to be one of my focuses now is, going in person to mom and pop shops and being like, hey, we have candies, would you be interested in selling these at your stores? Because my mom's going to Mexico. She's going to go live there. So I'm not going to have her around forever to help with the pickups. So I think that would be great to be able to have more, stores have our stuff.
Yeah. What kind of stores? You kind of said mom and pop shops, but have you thought about anything with Amazon, anything doing online like that? Or is that...
No, I personally really like people being able to order on my website. So I like being able to, do that, package my stuff. I'm not really thinking huge right now. Maybe in the future, who knows, right, if we blow up. But yeah, definitely like small liquor, stores where I can go in and I can actually know the owner, direct contact, things like that.
Yeah. Now, what are some of your top selling products or candies?
Yes. Right. So I would definitely say from our candies are gushers and watermelon. And products overall is our tamarindo mezcal. That my mom, so we have family in Mexico, Cuernavaca. They have a restaurant, Chaparritos, if you guys are in Cuernavaca. And our uncle gets it from his friend directly. So like his friend owns the agave plant. So we'll literally bring back mezcal in Pepsi 3-liter bottles.
Oh, geez.
We'll bring back the tamarindo.
Yeah.
And everything's from Mexico. My mom is the one who came up with the invention. One time she had like made something with tamarindo. She's like, this would be good mezcal. And then ever since then, it's just been, we sell out within hours. As soon as I post it, we'll have a bunch of bottles and it'll sell out the same day.
Now, how do you drink it? What is it? I guess.
Yeah. So
I've never had
mezcal.
it.
Yeah. So mezcal is kind of like tequila. It's a little bit smokier, and the difference is that the agave plants are cooked in pits, so that's why it has a little bit of a different flavor to it. Luckily, no hangovers, but I definitely recommend everybody just drink it with ice. It's just a sip drink. You don't do shots, but a lot of people still do shots of them. And then I definitely recommend getting our chamoy drip and our new chilito, just making the drip as the rim and then the chilito, adding that on there and then just sipping it with ice. It's so good.
Oh, for the summer for sure. Then,
Yes.
right? For the barbecues.
Definitely. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, you're selling candies, right? So
Yeah.
people are eating them.
Yeah.
Is there any type of regulations that you have to follow or anything?
So obviously right now we're a small business. So I'm not really like, as long as I'm wearing gloves and putting on my face mask, hair nets, things like that. I'm just cautious about things like that. But for sure in the future, I want to have like my certificate and things where I can, keep growing and selling to more people. But for now we're just, small.
Small stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yep. And where could they reach you? Give them your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or
Yep.
give them everything.
Yeah, so our website is lacasadulce.net. You can order everything on there. We also have Sal Sundays, which we put on hold for now because of our pop-ups, but we'll have some more, tasty Mexican cuisine coming up. And then our Snapchat is La Casa Dulce IL, and that's also our Facebook. And then our TikTok is just La Casa Dulce.
Awesome. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.